Okay, guys, welcome back. Uh, my name is Sal Cosentino. In our last conversation, we talked about um, installing the server. We talked about a lot of things, but again, um, we talked about the ADFS, ADS, ADCS, WAP briefly based on that diagram. I'm not going to explain everything to you and how to install and configure an ADFS on your system. It's totally up to you. All systems are different. If you are deciding to use that, you could use that. We talked about SharePoint Online, showed you the different templates, how to log in with a subscription and views, and how to edit your communication sites and links. Right. So we also using Visio subscription to view the files, which is what I did for you. I showed you guys how to do that. Um, we talked about you know different tiers, servers, like your web server, your application server, right? Or your your FE, which is your front end, right? And your application server. And then we talked about your database server, right? We talked about single tier. We talked about the tiers, obviously. Uh, you know, your single server, um, different architectures, single, multi, stretched, three-tier topology. All right. All right. So, you know, and architecture and design. We built our SC SharePoint server, right? Which is our first one. We're gonna build two of those maybe. Let's see how time permits. And added added three uh, physical disks and gave it two NIC cards, right? And we talked about that as well. So we talked about a lot. We also talked about, again, we talked about site collections, right? Different, you know, the difference between that, limitations. We talked about the limitations. We talked about, um, pay sites and workplaces. Many other. Again, watch the other videos to get a handle on that. Um, our last two videos, again, we broke off our first video at one point. My machine went haywire. I'm not sure what happened there, but I fixed that problem. I created a second video for that, like a second part to that. And this one here, again, we also talked about memory. There was a lot of stuff that we talked, again, just kind of had the insights on that, and how we integrate that. And if we go down here, I will talk about, there you go. So we're going to install the SQL server. We should be able to install it now. We're logged in. Um, I'm not going to install any roles just yet. I just want to install the SQL Server. So what I'm going to do is uh, open up my web browser. I have internet, so I should be able to browse without an issue. Don't allow, confirm and continue. Continue without this data, don't allow, confirm and browse. So I should be with my domain joined account, my admin. He's a domain joined administrator, domain administrator. Uh, he's got the privileges that I need in order to get this stuff done. Um, so he should be ready to go. If I open up my AD, I have my ADC connect. Um, so if I go to my users, my Canadian data center, serial, there's my admin. I have currently these roles that I've assigned. So this is the roles that I currently have for this specific um, job that I need. And as an administrator, I'm going to architect and create a SharePoint server site with 3 machines for now. Again, I can create multiple machines and add multiple services to it, and download the SharePoint server with farm option to that. Again, it's totally um, something that we're going to definitely work with. My old this one is an application. We're going to install it with an application with search, and that's a shared role. This is going to be an application with search. So I'm going to go back to my drawing here, guys. Apologies. And this is going to be application with search role. That's the role I want. So again, but we need to download the SQL server. So I'm going to search for downloads server 2016 for now, as per um, documentation. And I am going to go and download the on-premises version of it. But I want to download SQL. So 16 download ISO. So we'll go back to my, and this is going to be SP2. So I have 16, 17. So let's do 16. That's what I want to use. And I'm going to download the exe. And this one here, I'm going to stop sharing, pause the screen. Right. All right, welcome back. So after inputting all the information, uh, just download the 64-bit version. Should download that. There we go. So that'll download the evaluation, the SSEI, the Express version, and in the Express version, I should be able to pull out the version that I want. And I'm also going to download the SSMS. So that's the full strip with SB2. And I'm also going to download Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So I'll take a look at the different versions. Let's see if I can get the different versions of it. Let's see if we can go to previous version releases. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download the 18. So I'll download the 18.12.1. Previous versions. So that's also important. But let's see where we're at when it comes turn to the okay. For my database set, I want to download that. I need to make sure that I download that. I have that information set, so that I need to download that. So um, download that, man. So I need to go to my notes here, guys. And I'm also going to add um, premises, and here's the link. Hey, buddy, be right back. Okay, guys. So I'm downloading the SQL Server Management Studio version. I'm gonna send you guys a link on how to get the earlier versions of it. I just went, 2018, 2019, the just a little bit older than that, just so that I have a little bit older version. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but we will try out and see what happens. So as we move forward, I've downloaded the server, an SQL server on this machine. Um, I'm, I'm gonna make this a two-server machine. I want you guys to make another machine and download it and try it. I want this to be a three-tiered deployment for you guys, a multiple server, so a multiple type server farm, just so that you guys get the gist of things. I'm gonna make this a little bit less consuming for me, and build another machine. I can build another machine if I want. It's not the problem, but I'm just gonna download everything in this machine for now. I want you guys to create another machine, and I want you guys to call it um, database server, right? Um, I missed the R here. Okay, that's fine. So, um, let's take a look at the naming convention. Let's make sure the naming convention's right. It doesn't matter about the file server. The file name is it is what it is. I think I missed the R, but if I go to assistdm.cpl, it should be srv. Okay, so go to settings so that I know that's what it's called. I'm going to go to options, and I'm just going to call it. It's just the name that we're going to give it. It's nothing over the top with that, and this is going to be our first one. Uh, Again, what I would do with this one, guys, is is take the snapshot at the same time. And this is with customization and Windows 2022 installed only, right? Um, this is domain joined. Joined. All right. And I'll put today's date and the server. It's P server 01 and then 11 November 2024. Hit enter. Okay, so I've gone ahead. Uh, it looks like the snapshot file is downloading. Um, I'm just gonna wait. I'll delete it. I don't need it right now. I'm just gonna delete it. Okay. All right, just give me 1 second, guys. Just gonna pause. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So if we go back to our delivery here, um, I'm going to keep this information here for you guys and use this information wherever possible. I am going to download the 21 the 2022 version, which is a little bit older than the 2019. So I went with the 18.12.1. There's a reason for that. I know there's a lot of bug fixes, but again, um, download it. I sent you guys the link for that. Another thing I want you guys to try out too is I think I downloaded it already. So if I go to downloads, it should be in the downloads folder. Okay, so I'll open up the downloads folder. The thing I want to download is the SharePoint 2019 download, right? ISO, right? And if I go to our download SharePoint site here, right? Download the Office server image. I'm gonna click download and just download that to our drive. And I'm going to take the uh, product key, right, for enterprise, because that's the one I want to use. And I'm going to post it into a notepad for now. Paste, right? So that's going to be that our code for that. And again, we'll enable the enterprise product key. We have to create the server farm. We'll launch the management shell. We've done that already. That's for project server. Okay, so that's that. I'll have the instructions for that. Now, as that's downloading, guys, what I want you to do is open up the folder location here, and then just double click on the SQL server because I want to install that, and click yes. All right. And this is going to install. What I want to do is download the SQL server setup files. Right. I think that's what I want to do. I want to download the media. So I want to download the media first, and I want to create an ISO for it. So I'm going to create the ISO here, and I selected that, and I'm going to save it to my downloads folder, and I'm going to click on download. So that's going to create the downloadable media file for me first. So as we wait for that, go ahead and wait for that to finish. So you can see it's creating the ISO. And let's put the file names. There you go. So it's creating the ISO file, as you can see. Just waiting for that to finish. And we'll move forward with that. Take a look at what things I need here. If there's anything I need. So that's what that's going to look like. Okay. All right. So we'll just wait. We'll continue to wait for that. Okay. All right. And what else? What else? What else? What else? So I'll have to change the file names on that. Okay, so while we're waiting on that, I want to go to computer management, guys. And I remember I told you guys I wanted to create the two extra disks. Um, they weren't formatted on purpose, so I'm going to go ahead and format those two disks within disk management, right? And I need to initialize those disks, so I am going to initialize those disks. And I make this a little bit bigger. And my first disk, we said, to go back to our drawing board, um, my drawing board, I stated that I wanted applications and one database. So we'll call one applications and one database. So this one's our application for installing the servers, images, and other files. And this is online. And I'm going to give it a expand volume. I don't have any other disks to rate it to. I can eventually do that if I want. I'm not going to do that now. And I'm going to add that, which is what I did, my second disk. Click next. And I'm going to name it, give it a letter G or H. Let's go H. Click next. And I'm going to call this applications. Right. And I'm going to click next. Yeah, I'm going to click next. Next and finished. So the operation you selected will convert its basic disk to a dynamic disk. If we convert the disk to dynamic, just start installed operating systems from any volume on the disk except for the current boot vault. So that's good. That's what I want. I'll click yes. Properties. Welcome back. If you just joining me again, I'm just formatting the two disks that I had prior. As you can see back in our Drew design, I created three disks, one for database and one for applications. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So it's formatting both disks for me as we're waiting. I think it's still downloading that folder, so I'll just wait for that to download. It's also downloading the Office server, taking up a little bit of space here. And we have our SQL Server 2016 with SP2 downloading, creating the ISO media. We're waiting for that. I'll put you guys on mute. I'll be right back. All right, there you go, guys. So that's downloaded. I'm gonna close that. Exit the and formatting both disks here. I'm still waiting for this to format. So the download still in progress here. That's our SharePoint Office server image here. We'll wait for that to finish. A little bit of time. So I'm going to go to offline, delete volume. It's back online. It's, um, next, next. There you go. So as you can see, guys, there's the setup file. So we're gonna run the splash HTA file when we're done. Something happened to my disk, so what I'm gonna do is reboot it and set up and add a new disk. I'm gonna delete the original disk and I'm just gonna download a new one. So I will download two, delete two, and then delete two and create another one. All right, so I'm gonna shut this off. Shut down. I'm gonna write this down, guys, so that we have an idea of what that is. So H is database, right? Or application. Drive is application, and J will be database. Database. delete, edit this. I'm going to remove, and I'm going to add another disk. So next, next. Oh, okay, new virtual disk. Next. Oh, I'm going to put 250. Next. Finished. All right. So this is going to be our new disk, new hard disk. I'm going to click OK. All right. Once that's done, I'm going to power this on. Again, my apologies, guys. I don't know what happened there. That's not something that I'm just taking a long time here. But you guys kind of get the idea. Again, things happen. Just let it work its course. It'll get resolved. So again, guys, I'm rebooting the system. Added a new disk. Um, I think I've created a RAID volume, or I wasn't supposed to. I guess I added both the RAID volume. So uh, RAID 0. Set up RAID 0 for that. Two drives, double the read and write performance. You could offer that. You can offer RAID 0 for read and write. So that's an option that you guys might want to think about too, especially when you're creating these drives, right? Um, this is just input output performance. You can also go with RAID 1, right? Uh, it just I have a video of this already. I've talked to you guys about this already, so I want you guys to take a look at you know um, how to set up different RAIDs and what each RAID does. That way, you have a better understanding of what they mean or how they and what um, RAID volume you guys want to use in your in your division and your creation of it. So logging in. We're gonna mount the ISO. I think I should mount the ISO now. Um, settings, I'm gonna mount the ISO. Or since I downloaded here, I can just double click on the file. Get in the habit of downloading new ISOs. In this instance, that way, in case you haven't started, you have a fresh copy of it and any updated versions. Sometimes people, what they'll do is you can, um, you know, go into settings, options, and shared folders, and then add your shared folders, right? And always enable those shared folders, right? Map them to whichever guest comes in. So if I were to map that, I can map the applications folder, right? Just hit OK, next, finished, right? And then OK, make sure that's checked. So as soon as I load my files and folders, as you can see, the J is already created, formatted. Um, I'm going to go to right click here and I'm going to go to computer management. I'm within the computer management. I'm going to select the disk management on the left hand side. And if I scroll down, um, this disk is offline, right? So what I need to do is initialize the disk first and create it online. Right. Initialize the disk. So that disk is now initialized. And I'm going to right click and create a new span volume. Click next. I'm going to give this H as per my diagram and click next. I'm going to perform a quick format. I think I didn't do that the last time. That's why it formatted already. And I'm going to call this applications. So that's going to be my applications drive. I click next and finish. I can always add a drive now if this is full and create the RAID volumes if I'd like in the future. But again, I'm just going to keep this uniform. In my initial design, I can have the more disks I have, the better it is on my drive. If I want to create 2 terabyte or 22 terabyte drives, I can. It's totally up to me and what I feel like I want, and what we're using it for, right? So the more sites we're gonna host, the more in the farm we're gonna host, the more we're gonna want, right? And we're gonna circulate on that kind of design for now. I also gave you guys some different examples. Um, I gave you some examples here. I'm sure you guys already seen this production and development environment. There was also another one here. Um, this was a test environment that I wanted you guys to kind of take a look at too. These are some examples of different classifications and for the different servers and what processor, RAM, and hard disk they're using. So these are some great examples. Again, you can go light if you want. You can make it a 4 GB laptop, 4 GB RAM, one processor. I know back in the days, that's what we used to do and give it 60 to 80 GB. It all depends on what you're using it for. Again, stay away from the system drive. Don't download anything on the system drive. Separate it, separate it, separate it. Create a separate disk and change the drive letters. And I'll show you guys how to do that. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Just make sure that it's all um, set properly. And again, the hard disks are based on um, what it's used for, right? So make sure you know what you're using it for. Okay. Yeah. Again, those are the three different types of environments that I would look into, and again, based on the architecture designs that Microsoft, the specifications, they also give some great recommendations. We also talked about the different servers and the different groups the servers should be in and what they're used for, some good ideas. What they should be using for and how they should be using it. I also talked about content databases, I think in my drawings here. Shoot, you could see the drawings here. One of my drawings, 1 second, 1 second. So, in my load balancer, network and load balancer for large organizations, you could see the primary database server has a search database server already. It should have it by default, and you can create specific databases as needed. If you're not going to deploy a separate search database server, then the virtual driver of the search database server from your primary database server uh, will use the read and write calls of your drives and then more segregated among the two separate. Right? So that's what's going to happen. It's better to have both to segregate the read and write calls of your drives between the two separate drives, right? So it's always good to have two separate drives, two separate databases for that. aspect of it. Um, so every environment is different, right? So you always have to go based on the calls and the engineering of it. That way you have a better understanding of how things work. I've done a lot of research on this, and I think the best ideas are ideas that I talked about and so far seen. In real environments, they're a little bit different, but again, there's bigger environments that have bigger and more tiered topology than us. They have like 6 or 7 servers per site organization. So you have to kind of pace yourself and design it based on those requirements, right? So I have my H as my application and my J as my database. I named it whatever I want. You can name it D, you can name it E, whatever you want. So I've gone ahead and done that. Okay. I've downloaded the server. I've now downloaded the SharePoint server as well too. Um, I've downloaded SMSS, SSMS. I've downloaded that application, and again, that's going to be on my server, and that server is now called SCSRV CSP SRV01. Right? That's the server that I've gone and I've created that server. So we can go ahead and again delete this if we want. Actually, you know what? Let me go back. Let me keep that there. Just gonna cross it out. Right. So as you can see, that's good. All and done. Go ahead and copy this. Right, copy that. And I want you guys to kind of understand that just again, it's very, very straightforward. Just remember what everything is. You'll kind of understand once you're actually planning your own design. I want you guys to do 3 for now, 2 member servers. I'm just going to show you on one just to kind of show you guys, and then uh, you know, and later future classes, if you guys want, like I'll create multiple servers for you guys and show you guys how to do all that, and have 2 web servers, 2 application servers, and we can also create 2 database servers, right, for high availability. So it's always good to do that, a 2 times approach. Um, again, in some people, with some people, in my environment, I just want to create something as simple as this, right? So, this is what I want for now, right? Um, this is what I want to create in my on-premises environment, right? So that's going to be inside my on-premises. Understand that. So this is sorry. So that's going to be that for now. So as you guys can see, I want you guys to create another server, and I want you guys to create it like the way I'm doing it. Again, I'm just pushing some of the stuff over, right? Like this application and that application and this instance over, right? Everything's going to be over. My drives are still good. My system drive is still going to be the same. My application drive is still going to be the same, and my database and or transaction logs are still going to be the same, right? So, NIC cards are also obviously going to be the same too. This is going to be our physical NICs or phi NICs, right? And I'm going to add them here. Again, one is Ethernet 0, right? And that's going to be LAN, right? And then one's going to be for internet, right? It's going to be NAT. That's going to be NAT or VM net 08. Um, when you are setting up your physical NAT cards, again, for no particular reason, you can use whatever VMnet you want in your environments, right? So in my environment, I used VMnet, let's say 11, right? Just make sure your both machines are simple and they're the same thing. So your VLANs have to be similar in order for them to communicate, right? So at 11, and this also has to be VMnet 11. Internet must be VM, right? So this also has to be VMnet 11, right? So it all depends on what you guys want to do. So again, make note of that. I'm gonna save this diagram. Okay, and I'm going to copy this, go here, and I'm going to paste that. And I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to save this drawing. So this is sort of my drawing now, right? Again, I want you guys to try this on your own. This is my own environment. I'm using it to system. It's not recommended. This is just a basic standalone farm that I'm creating. It's a single server farm, just for testing environment for our on-premises environment. You guys should have, again, should be totally different from what I'm using it for, right? I want you guys to create three. So I want you guys to have two member servers. If you're not using one member server to install the operating system, shut it down. If you need more space, shut it down and turn it back on when you're ready to go, right? So it's pretty straightforward. As long as this is done, you shut it down, and then you give this some space too, right? So you want to give this, let's say 4 GB, right? 4 GB RAM of space. The less space you have, the better. Again, it's it's just for designing, for installing and whatnot. So, um, right. So this is 8 GB for OS. I usually like to give it 8 GB. Doesn't matter what you give it, but 8 GB is good just to give it a stronger, quicker install, right? And that way you can always shut it down and bring it back to even 2 GB if you want. Oh, that's our domain controller, right? Our domain controller, I wanted 2 GB. But again, just remember 4 GB is good enough to, and then the more you add, the more processor, and again, you can give it one CPU, but originally I want you to start with two CPU, and then go up to um, four CPU, right? Because it's not a heavy machine, right? So that's something I want you guys to try out. Okay. I'm also wanting you guys to try it out here too. All right. Very important. Good to know. Just remember what I showed you guys here. The bigger the environment, the larger the environment, the more hardware resources you're going to need. All right. So again, this is just a small system. I'm giving it, this is just a basic two-tier system that I want you guys to try out on your own and see how that works for you. I want to go ahead and copy that. Yeah. All right. Copy. So that's going to be my new design. It's this here. So this is my drawing here. So this is what it looks like so far. Again, it's just a two machine. I want you guys to build a third machine and join it to the domain. Again, these are all joined to the domain, right? Joined to domain, right? So if you look at the DC, you should see this computer up and running. We open up the domain controller, load the domain controller, the active users, directory users and computers, and then go into our computers. You should see our SP server there. So that's what we want. We want this here, right? So we're ready to go with that. And again, if you guys are trusting this computer for Kerberos, you can use Kerberos here. Trust the service to Kerberos. Again, we're not going to do that right now. Um, again, we want to create laps. We can add laps. Objects, any security, any attributes, we can make the changes here. Again, we make the changes here. Typically, we just, can do that. Anything managed here, we usually manage it by the department. We can change the department that it's managed by. So I can add that managed device. Okay, apply that. Okay, so I'll put this down. So going back to the server, I should now be able to go to my downloads now and start the installation. So I'm going to go ahead and start the installation. I run the setup. Okay. I'm going to install the server. So I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna make another video on this. I'm going to do the installation of the standalone SQL server first. It's gonna just to cut off the timing of the video. Once this is done, I'm gonna do the evaluation for now. Accept the license and terms. Hit OK. Once this is done, uh, yeah, all the services passed. Okay, I don't need to do that. I'm gonna end the video. And I'm going to install the SSMS and SharePoint server in another session. Yeah. We're going to note that the firewall is enabled. Again, we need to make sure the appropriate ports are open to enable the remote access, right? So we need to look at that feature. That's a good note to take a look at. And I'll explain to you how to resolve that remote issue. Next. I'll just leave that for now. Um, I want to choose um, database engine. Am I missing anything? Let's see, what am I missing here? Um, what we're going to enable for that. Enable remote connection for that. Management tools, shared features. Do we have the management tools, shared features? We don't have the management tools, shared features. Okay. Okay, so if we do not have it, we will skip that part. Management tools. Let's see, we don't have the management tools. So I'm going to go ahead and, okay, so the installation files are going to go to the application. So if we go to our, this PC, we are going to change the drive letter to H. So I don't want to save it to my C drive. I just want to save it to H. So what I'm going to do is change the letter to H on all the featured directories here. And that's good. That's good for now. Now I'm going to click next. Next. All right. And I'm going to leave the instance default. I don't want to mix it up. I don't think I have. I think I'm going to um, call this SharePoint. So I'm going to add the SP just in case. I want to add the SP so that it doesn't conflict with my and SCCM. All right. And with this one, I'm going to give it my I'm going to give it a browse, and I'm going to give it my account. All right. Check name, hit OK. Do the same thing for that. Browse. I'm going to look for SC admin, Sal Cosentino admin, check name, hit OK. And same thing for the reporting services. I'm going to do the same thing, SC admin, hit OK. And I'm going to give it the password now. So I'm going to add the passwords in. After this, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to create another video on um, on SSMS and SharePoint. So again, look out for that video. And then I'm going to give my next. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to click on next. So that works. See if there's any issues with the so that should be good to go. Okay, so in this instance, I wanna use mixed mode. The reason why is because I want to add a systems account if anything crashes. So I'm gonna add a password for the SE account, right? And I want the SE account to be there just because anything happens. Because if I can't log in, I can't log in. I need that SE account, right? So, and I'm gonna add my current user, right? Plus him. Then I also want to go to my data directories, right? My data directories. When I go to my data directories here, I'm going to change the location, right? And we note that, oh, perfect. So it's already changed. That's great. We want it to the C, save it to the H drive and not the C drive. We're looking at the temp files. The temp files here should be okay. The log directory. Okay, so the log directory should be J. So we're going to move that to J. Okay. And data files, data files, data files. Let's see. So these are temporary files. So I'm going to add J. I'm going to remove this. So J. So temporary data files have to be saved in the data files selection. So that should be, I'll remove this. So to do is create these folders. So I need to create these folders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to H. No, you know what? I'm just going to remove this and put the data there. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. So I'm going to remove that and I'm going to put um, the data directories in my J folder, which is where I want it, and click next. I don't think I need anything for file streaming. But other than that, the database engine configuration should be complete. We're now going to go to the reporting services and we're just going to install and configure the reporting in native mode. Right, so we're just going to install and configure. Click next, next, and hopefully this completes well. I need to open up the ports, but I don't think I want to open up the ports just yet. So I'm just going to leave this as is. Should be okay for now. I'm just going to make note of it and keep it into my notes here. So that's done. Then there's so I'm gonna keep that here as an okay, V. So it's gonna show you a warning just to show you that again, we can shut it off, but I think we'll talk about this once we install it. We'll bring this up in our future installation here. Take a look at that. Just give it 1 second as it completes. Um, I think that's it for now. I'm just gonna close it as is. It's gonna create the service. Actually, I'll just leave it. I'll just pause the video for now. And once this finishes, again, I just want to thank you guys. I want you guys to be on the same page. I don't want you to start anything yet. I want you to wait for this video to finish. You'll see another video shortly, today. But this will all be sent out in one combined all at once on YouTube. So you'll see these come up by the end of today or tomorrow morning. When you wake up, you'll see all four of them ready to go. So again, we're almost there. We're getting there. We're just slowly getting to that point. We're designing our infrastructure. I've already architected the way I wanted it to be. In this instance, again, these are both domain joined, right? So the domain joined machines, right? And this is also a domain joined machine, right? And again, this would also be a domain joined machine if you want it to be. But just make sure that you add a different IP addressing to it, and you have a different IP addressing to that. Keep it consistent, right? So start with one, start with two. You can do whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter. Um, just make it easier for you. So this right here can be do whatever you want it to be, right? Just make sure that that's the same in that environment, or you can use the public IP addressing as well too, right? So we'll talk about that as well. So I'm gonna add it as X. I'm just gonna say this is X. 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 Doesn't matter what number it is, so you can give it, as long as they're all the same, X is the same. right? And all the and consistent, right? Right. Actually. Okay. Um, let's see. So these are the public IP addresses, guys. One more time, I'm just gonna post these here for you guys. I want you guys to see that. All right. Make sure let's just make it. These are the private ranges that I want you guys to use, right? And the different CIRDs, right? Just gonna overpost that. That's good to note for you. Okay. So when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, you know how to do that. I'm gonna post this here for you to see. So this is sort of my environment, right? I want you guys to create a multiple tier environment. Um, it's important that you guys do the same. Right? Okay, so this is what I want you guys to create. Right? So I want you guys to create 4 machines. If you need to create templates, please create templates. Again, if you need to create a template on the machine itself, again, oh, cancel. You would find the machine, turn it off, and um, go to manage, or go to, right, you would go here, go to, um, right, cancel. I'm gonna go back. Should have just left it as is. That's fine. Images, settings, were filled. Okay, setting we're supposed to be set for D. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and change that location. That's okay. Next. I'm just gonna redo this again. Sorry, guys. Next. Next. I'm just gonna do this quickly. Guys. Sorry, my apologies. I will not choose the reporting services just yet. I don't need it. Um, not the management, but the management's up there. Okay. So I'm gonna click next, and this is gonna go to H. Change this to H. Next. rename it to 1. Next. Next. So we're going to call it MSQL Server SP1. I'm going to give it browse, give it the check name. Okay, the same thing for this. Browse, check name. Okay, put my password in. Same thing for this one. I'm going to put the password in and click next. And okay. So I want to use mixed mode. I want to put in my password again. Add the current user. Click next. And then I'm going to go to my data directories. Right, we're going to use the data directories, database directory. So the system database directory will be J. So that's our data. That's going to be our data logs where we want it. So I think that was our mistake there. We're going to put everything J here. J. Okay. So everything is J now. That's what we wanted. And we're going to go back to our temp. All right. And that should be perfect. It's all good. What we wanted. And we're going to click next. I don't need to, again, I don't want to make the size bigger. I don't have any information yet on that. I'm going to leave this as is. And again, if I need to make this a little bit bigger, I will. But I'll leave the settings as default and just click next. And file stream, I don't remember. I don't believe I did anything before there, so I don't think I need to do anything there, but let's just double check that again. Um, so I made that, guys, make sure that that's all good there. So, um, so yeah, so remember the data directories, guys, has to be the data, not the application drive, but the or H drive, it's the J drive. So if you go back to the drawings, guys, it's the database, not the H. So change everything there. And then in the temp, that should also be J, right? So that should be good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna click next and should move forward now. All right, we're gonna install next, next, and hopefully there's no problems here. But again, after this, guys, I'm just gonna close the video, end the video here for now. I just want to thank you guys for joining this third part. Stay tuned for my last part in this video series, where we're gonna install SSMS, our SQL Server Management Studio app, and finally our SharePoint site. Uh, so I just want to thank you guys again, and it's going to be our application with search role. I'm gonna install. So I need to write that down, guys. Sorry about that. Right. And that's also going to be application with search role. Okay, let's go back to my old right here. Here, please. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay. All right, guys. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So that's that. Looks like it's ready to go. Its installation's completed. No errors so far, so that's good. We're just waiting for the installation to progress. Once the installation progresses, I'm gonna end the video, guys. Again, appreciate everybody for joining me. Without you guys, I won't create these videos. If you like, please like and subscribe these videos, guys. Add me to the WhatsApp group. If you have any questions, any concerns, please let me know. Anything you're stuck on, anything that's happening to you, one of us will add you to that. If you're interested in any courses of mine, any full courses, please let me know, and we can definitely talk about um, that. Again, thank you guys for joining. I'm going to pause, well, mute the video for now and just wait for this to finish. And I will then finish the video. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So it looks like it has been completed. Perfect. I will open up the log and save the log, which is what I want. I save the log finally, and I will save it in my J drive, right? So that's good. This explains everything to me. I'm very happy, very happy, very happy. Um, wow. I'm not gonna download the 20.2 version, but I am going to end the video from here, guys. I want to thank you very much and hope to see y'all soon. There you go. Perfect. Very happy. All right. That's great. That's great. Okay, so that's enabled. All right. So I will see you guys later. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks.